Every single person in this building, we owe something to Charlie. He was a joyful warrior for our country. He loved America. He devoted himself tirelessly to making our country a better place. He was a critical part of getting Donald Trump elected as president, getting me elected as vice president. And so much of our success over the last 7 months is due to his efforts.
Vice President J.D. Vance guest hosting Charlie Kirk's show yesterday in a special tribute to his dear friend who he owes so much to, including introducing him to the entire Trump family.
Eric Trump was a close friend of Charlie's, and he joins us now. Eric, continued condolences to you and the family. I know it was said that he was like the president's other son.
Yeah. He came in, I'll never forget this, guys. He came into the Trump organization. This is 10 years ago. He must have been 21, 22 years old, and he told me about this kind of vision of what he wanted Turning Point to be. He had a couple chapters at that point, was just getting it off the ground. And I'll never, sometimes you almost roll your eyes when you hear somebody's kind of plans, especially if you come from the business world, because most people are full of you-know-what.
Yeah.
And I remember saying, that's a hell of a lofty goal. I mean, you want to literally change, the perception, the political perception of an entire generation of students, right? And go back 10 years. I mean, the woke indoctrination, what was being seen on college campuses was, we've moved so much to the right since then. And I go, wow, that's lofty aspirations. And if you look at where he's created and the movement that he's built today, it's exactly what he described to me 10 years ago. And he became, obviously, dear friends with Don's. He became, that's right, probably a second son to my father. He fought beside us. I was on that stage with him 100 times. He was an amazing person. He transcended certainly a generation, but I think more and more I'm starting to realize so many people, and it wasn't just a youth movement, absolutely adored Charlie. I had an older Jamaican guy, probably 75 years old, in very broken English, come up to me yesterday, and he goes, Mr. Trump, I'm so sorry to hear about Charlie. He goes, I am Charlie Kirk. I was Charlie Kirk, and he's pointing at his heart. He goes, he was a good Christian man. And I'm sitting there saying, a guy like that, maybe in most circles wouldn't even know who Charlie Kirk was. And then you see 1.4 million people marching through the streets of London, and you see 34,000 chapters on college campuses being brought to life. I mean, the point is, that's incredible. And guys, I always talk about the law of unintended consequences in the world, and they made the biggest mistake of their life. They tried to do it to my father in Butler. They tried to do it to him on a golf course. Now they did it to Charlie. And you have the law of unintended consequences, and they wonder why. They wonder why we won every swing state. They wonder why we won the popular vote. They wonder why they just lost an entire generation, who, by the way, is going to be voting for generations. It's all because of the insanity that no one can get behind. But he was a great man, and we're going to miss him dearly, and what a force of nature he was.
You're running the Trump Organization, have been. You know how to run businesses, big and small.
Yeah.
Do you see yourself playing a role in trying to harness the 37,000 chapters and the organization? Because he was Napoleon. Yeah. He had surrogates and he had people that followed him, but he didn't have an heir apparent.
Yeah, well, somebody asked me that the other, who takes over Turning Point? And when you look at Charlie, right, obviously a brilliant mind, but he also had this charisma, right? And not everybody has charisma. It's people are drawn to him. He had this magnetic force, and clearly the youth of this country was drawn to Charlie. And you're seeing that right now more so than ever as we've honored him. I mean, who gets this level of honor for this period of time? He really deeply impacted somebody. But you also need to be able to raise money. You need to be able to run a massive organization. You need to be incredibly disciplined. And I always joke that no matter where in the country we're at, I could be on one of our real estate jobs, I'd see Charlie. I could be on a ranch in Texas, I would see Charlie. The guy was always on the move. He traveled every single day. Politics was his hobby. This was his life's calling. It's kind of what he did, and it's. You ever heard that expression? You are who you are what you kind of woke up to. The last thing you thought about when you went to bed, that's who you are. That's what Charlie was. The last thing Charlie thought about when he went to bed, when he woke up in the morning, was politics and this movement and this goal of his and God and Christianity and the American flag and the Constitution and the family unit that is so deeply under attack in this country, and that's what he fought for every single day. So it wasn't just his company, it wasn't just a business. It was really his calling, and he embodied that every day. And again, a remarkable person and somebody who's clearly going to be missed.
Yeah, Eric, what amazes me is to hear you say he was in front of you at 21 years old. I mean, you came from this prominent family. Your dad has been president twice. He's 21 years old, and he's in the conference room with you. He's meeting with millionaires, telling them about his conservative mission, and they're believing in him and giving him money for his cause and for Turning Point and changing the landscape of colleges over the last 10 years. What made him so different? Because when we were 21, when you come from a family like Charlie did, which is probably just a normal all-American family, you don't have access to this.
Yeah. Listen, he was special, right? There's no question, right? That's a gravitas, whatever you want to call it, right? There's certain people that have this electric nature. My father's one of them, right? Charlie was clearly one of them. People liked him. People believed in him. He always orchestrated himself kind of beautifully. He was convincing. He had the passion. He had the fire. People wanted to be around him. People wanted to invest in him. And again, he created the greatest youth movement, guys. I mean, you know, in most colleges, frankly, you know, kids aren't thinking about politics. You know, what are they thinking about? They're thinking about going out on a Thursday night and having a great time. And all of a sudden, he's popping up these chapters that made transformational difference. And by the way, it's not just popping up chapters. You know, so much of his focus that no one ever talks about was literally changing student body leadership.
Right.
You know, and he did that, and he was doing that in liberal academia. I went to Georgetown University, one of the most liberal schools in the college now, shocking for kind of a Jesuit school. He calls me up, Eric, let's go back to Georgetown. Let's. And we walked in, Charlie and I walked into Georgetown. It's funny, you know, we sat down, and I'm a great alumni of the school, loved the school and everything. I mean, I think half the audience stood up and walked out, and I still have the video. Charlie and I are laughing at it, and then, you know, we go back and forth, and we've got this great dialogue with all the kids. And it was an amazing event, but half of me was thinking, hey, why bother in Washington, D.C., right? Like, how about this? Like, let's start by winning Pennsylvania. Let's start by winning, you know, the swing states. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter if it was Seattle. It didn't matter if it was Portland. It didn't matter where it was. Charlie was willing to have that conversation. But remember, let me just use that word again. Conversation.
That's right.
There's no violence.
Exchange.
There was no threats. You know, he would beat people with his mouth and his words and his ideas. And, you know, and then you see a guy who called, you know, Charlie a fascist, pick up a sniper rifle, a German sniper rifle, by the way, you know, and shoot over a crowd of people who were just, you know, enjoying the freedoms of the United States of America.
Excited about a new semester of college, you know, and now they're
It's
not.
unbelievable.
Eric, thanks so
Eric,
much.
thank
Thanks, Eric.
And everything you went through is in your book that's now out, too, that your family's under this type of stress as well.
Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.
Stay
We
safe.
appreciate
God
you.
bless you.
You guys.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.